Hey everyone, welcome back to Culz Book Reviews. In this episode, we're checking out a book that I have seen a lot of comments on different videos or different book reviews that we should check this book out. And honestly, I'm really excited that I was finally able to find the time to sit down and read this, because not only is it fantastic, and we'll get more to that as we go on, but also because we had started reading it, we were lucky enough to talk with author James B. Mills. So if you haven't seen that interview, make sure to click that link above. Super fun interview, and definitely know we'll be doing some stuff with James in the future. Just awesome conversations. But let's get to the book. Obviously, Billy the Kid, huge topic on the channel. I think only dinosaurs are the only topic on here that do as well, if not maybe a little bit better. But Billy the Kid, very huge topic, something we enjoy discussing. And obviously we go down to New Mexico yearly at this point. We have also read a lot of books about Billy the Kid on the channel. Some, as you know, I've really enjoyed, and others not so much. So it's always not sure what you're getting into. And like I said, I had started reading this before we talked to James, so kind of blank slate there as far as not knowing what to expect from the book. On some of the Facebook pages that I am on, really good reviews. So I at least had that in mind. I was like, well, it should be at least pretty good. Some people said it was the best Billy the Kid book ever read. I didn't really see any negative reviews, so I was like, okay, I at least knew it's going to be good. Now, as you can see, if I lean it this way, it's pretty thick. It's a thicker book, one of the longer ones we've read. Not as long as that Brushy Bill book, though. But if you're kind of hesitant about reading it due to the book size, I would say, hey, don't worry about the book size. Just take it a page at a time, sit down, read it. I think you guys, if you're anything like me, as you're reading it, you're going to see almost a movie being played in your head. And now maybe it's different for us because we've been to the locations in the book, a lot of them. And so especially when they're talking Lincoln, Fort Sumner, some of these locations, San Patricio, it's really easy to put myself into that location because we've been there. If you guys kept up with the channel, you guys have seen some of these locations, and we definitely have more upcoming. And if there's more, say you read this book and you're like, hey, you didn't cover it on a video, just let us know. We will be more than happy to cover anything that you guys want us to. James wrote about the pit jail, or the house, obviously the Tunstall sword, just how close and almost personal everything was in Lincoln. Because it's not this huge town, it's just a stretch of road. Everything, the Tunstall store to the house, pretty close. Super, super close. Obviously, the McSween house was even a little bit closer. And so everything's really intimate there. Like, everything's super close. And, as you read, I could just picture it. And it just felt so alive. And so that's one pro I will say right off the bat. Just as you're reading it, at least for me, it's so easy to put yourself into the shoes. And it doesn't really take a hard stance as far as, like, there's been some books I wrote Billy super sympathetic, or some books that wrote him obviously more as a outlaw or someone that you don't want to hang out with. And this book definitely writes him more as just who he was, tries to write for the facts. And as we know of Billy, a lot of stuff is harder to come by, but there's quite a bit of facts that we do know about, and I think it paints a really nice picture. It paints a picture not only Billy, but the people he was around, be it the regulators, the different Hispanos, especially in Fort Sumner. I will say towards the ending, much like when we did our JFK, the day JFK was shot book, there's a sense of, like, impending doom. Like, you're just like, oh man, Billy, don't do it. But he's going to go back to and stay in Fort Sumner. He's going to go into Maxwell's home and get shot. And so it's just really well written. I really enjoyed it. Read really quick, even with the size. There's a lot of information, so I don't want to read it too quick. Just because when there's a lot of good information, you want to take it a little bit slower to really help yourself process it. But I really enjoyed it. So let's look at the inside a little bit. So as you can see, lots of notes. And you can see where the author was getting his information. It's always good to have. right here you can see the actual kind of story portion of the book goes to 574, and for the most part just words. Now there is a section about halfway that showcases different pictures of different events, places, locations, people. Right here, there's a little plaque in Fort Sumner, which we've been to, and we'll share that short at some point. But you can see where Henry was shot, killed. Down here you got Paulita. And I think this is really cool for people maybe that aren't as in tune with the history or the people, to actually be able to put a face with the name. I think always a positive. You can see lots of good pictures. This is the Lincoln County Courthouse, the house, whatever you want to call it. It's a museum today. But this is the window he shot down. Killed Bob there. Hello, Bob. You know, you can actually see Bob Ollinger there. And it definitely shines a light on who Bob Ollinger was a little bit more in this book. I think in any movie, TV show, documentary, definitely paints him the same way, but just adds a little bit more depth, I would say, in this book. Again, just some more awesome pictures. There's Ash Upson. At some point we'll talk about the book about him. This one, Vincent Otero, pretty cool. Obviously it says one of Billy's amigos. He was a pallbearer on July 15th, 1881, but he lived long enough to live into the age of Elvis, which is, it's crazy. You think about how long ago Billy was, but it really wasn't in the sense of things. 140 years, and man, time moves slowly, you know, but it moves all the same. Just cool little nugget there. Delavina, we showcase that new memorial they got for Delavina in the Fort Sumner Cemetery. Paulita again. And like I said, just some more. There's Lou Wallace, Chavez. So yeah, lots of great pictures. Tom Folliard, Mr. Sheriff Brady, got Sally Chisholm. Lots of good stuff, as always. So yeah, I mean, we love reading about Billy the Kid, and this was a fantastic read. I do recommend it, and I would say a solid 9, maybe 10 out of 10. Like, it so far, it's one of my 2 favorite books, you know, on Billy. The other one being Billy the Kid, The Endless Ride, which we've talked about. But it's fantastic. At some point, I think it'd be kind of fun to do a tier list. So we've talked about different ideas of how to do tier lists, but maybe tier lists on Billy the Kid books. And, you know, this one would definitely be in the top. I do recommend it, guys. Go check it out. Go check out our interview with James. Both are fantastic. But yeah, go pick this up. I'll put a link in the description. You guys will enjoy it. Lots of good information. And there is some new stuff. I know when reading it, I was like, did I forget this or is it new? And when talking with James, could confirm it was new stuff. So, I'm not going crazy. My memory's still there. You guys will learn some new stuff, which is hard with Billy the Kid. But thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, if you want to see more Culz book reviews, click that link to your left. For more about what we're doing here at Culz Paranormal, click the link to your right. And don't forget to hit like and give us a subscribe. And let us know, have you read Billy the Kid, El Bandido, Simpatico? And is there a Billy the Kid book we need to check out?